Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by Adventure Cave Tours. Live a day in the life of a real adventurer with Adventure Cave Tours. The Springfield Greene County Park Board reminding you to go play, and Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Hey, good to be with you on Monday. Here we are. Another week has turned, and we're all back to work. So welcome back.
All back to work
everybody.
and cold while we're at it. So
no doubt.
All right, we'll begin with some news. A Springfield businessman may be running for governor on the Democratic side. Mike Hamra has filed some of the necessary paperwork to run, though he has not officially announced his candidacy. He is the CEO of Hamra Enterprises, which is a longtime Springfield company. They own several Panera's, Wendy's, and some other popular restaurant chains. If he decides to run, he'll be up against Missouri Minority House Leader Crystal Quaid for the 2024 governor's race on the Democratic side. Of course, Crystal Quaid, also from Springfield.
State Highway CC, a lot of people happy to hear this. In Nixa is now open again. If you need to drive through there today, you can. It reopened after crews worked on it over the weekend. This is CC at Highway 160. Crews worked on the intersection improvements over the weekend and made some progress, so that's good.
Yep. McDonald's and Tyson Foods are some heavy hitters right now. They are donating together 40,000 pounds of protein for Ozarks Food Harvest, which protein is always something that people need a lot of. So that's pretty amazing. Enough for 33,000 meals if you combine. The Ozarks Food Harvest says that it is needed right now because the price of groceries, as we all know, has gone up. And with inflation, that means more food insecurity for lots of families. In fact, they estimate that in our area alone, 1 in 7 children and adults are facing hunger.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And it's a problem that's not getting any better as
Right.
the years go on, it seems.
Certainly. All right. Speaking of hunger, what a gift this is. A person who wants to remain anonymous just paid off $119,000 worth of debt for student lunches at schools, Springfield Public Schools. How cool is that? The news leader did an article on some outstanding student debt for lunches, and a reader of the news leader saw the story, went in and paid off in full $119,000 worth of debt, which is just really cool. They gave that check through Care to Learn, and so they can remain anonymous.
Wow, that's cool.
Really
Very
cool.
cool. There's some great people living in our community, no doubt.
That's the truth.
Speaking of tough time with food costs, that's a theme here for a little bit of this newscast. Drury University, but good news, Drury University is helping students who live on campus and struggle with food insecurity. The Panther Swipes program was just launched last month. It allows students who can't afford meals or who have depleted their meal allowances to get some help. In the Commons Dining Hall, students in that situation can just tell the cashier quietly they'd like to use a Panther Swipe, and then they will be provided the meal with no cost. And this is also a cool part of that. Students who purchase meal plans can also donate some of their unused swipes to the program for other students who need it to use. So that's super cool.
Yeah. I remember that in college, I had the swipe plan and never did use all my swipes. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why I always had extra, but so did my sister. And we could not donate them to other students. So instead, at the end of semester, we would come home with pallets of bottled water and bottled orange juice and granola bars, just an insane amount, because you had to use the money or else you just lost it at the end of the semester. And so there you go. I think it's really neat that they can kind of pay it forward,
Yeah, that's probably better than coming home with a bunch of stuff that you don't necessarily need. I guess you'll use it eventually.
Right.
The annual Art in the Park event was held over the weekend in Sequiota Park. We drove by and saw that. A lot of people out there, local artists displaying and selling their wares and creations. Well, now it turns out the arts and culture industry brought in $1.7 billion with a B dollars in economic activity across the state of Missouri last year. The industry also employs more than 13,000 people across the state. Those new numbers come from a study that was done by Americans for the Arts. which worked with state and regional arts organizations to do this study.
Wow. $1.7 billion.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
That's amazing. All right. The nation's largest healthcare strike is over, at least for now. Kaiser Permanente just reached a deal with the union that represents thousands of employees. The union had been seeking better pay and improved staffing levels, essentially since COVID, saying we are working entirely too much and feeling like it's even unsafe for patients. So the workers had been on strike for 3 days, which affected tens of thousands of patients. Now, fortunately, that was not here right here in the Springfield area, but still, it was a big deal. Again, that was the largest ever healthcare strike in U.S. history, but it is over as long as that deal goes through. They say if it doesn't, then they could be on strike again.
Okay.
All right. Experts say that they are hoping to highlight October as Mental Health Awareness Month, like Mental Health Checkup Month. They are asking parents to check up on their children's mental well being. The National Alliance of Mental Illness says that by the age of 14, 50% of lifetime mental illnesses begin. Things like depression, anxiety, ADHD. So they say having a doctor check on them now will actually help kids gain better coping mechanisms and skills that they can then use throughout their entire life.
Well, it's important to have those, isn't it? Uh, these days it ain't cheap to buy a house. I'll tell you that much. 5 weeks in a row now, the mortgage rate hit its highest level in more than 20 years. The average rate on a 30-year home loan climbed to 7.57%. That is up from 7.49% the week prior. So it's costing more and more. At some point, those mortgage rates have to start going down again. Unfortunately, we may have to get into a recession before that happens. So hopefully not. No doubt you've noticed this, but the price of gas has not gone up since the war began between Israel and Hamas, which is what normally happens. Normally, there's a war somewhere and the price goes up for a lot of reasons, but partially because it can. In fact, prices, you may notice, are going down and have been. Price of oil immediately jumped after the terrorist attacks, but has since decreased since those involved in the war don't produce much oil for the world market. So as long as it doesn't spread beyond where it is currently, then it shouldn't have a major effect on our gas prices.
Yeah, it's been interesting because it is indeed going down and like even more so, you see I saw it at 2.99 and I was like, "Oh, surely it won't go under that." And then I saw it at like 2.97 and then 2.94. I mean, it's going down way more than I was like thinking it was going to, even though I
Yeah.
had been reading about the fact that it could keep going down. So that's awesome. All right. Well, I guess this is not going down. Sorry, this is going in the other direction, but I guess it had to happen considering all the food price stories we've done. Girl Scout cookie prices are going up by $1 a box.
Yeah.
Bad news and good news. Good news because maybe I won't buy as many, and by I mean you. Ethan likes to buy the Girl Scout cookies, even though I'm the one who struggles with the self-control to not eat an entire sleeve of Thin Mints.
I don't buy Thin Mints. That's the deal. That's
Yeah.
why I save. That's how I save you.
Thank you. I'm not kidding, actually. Thank you. That's a sincere thank you. That's not being sarcastic. I mean,
And I'm sincere when I say I don't buy Thin Mints.
anyway, they're not going to be $6 per box. And causing some concern, perhaps, the flavor Raspberry Rally is no longer being sold by the Girl Scouts. I mean, I guess, that's concern for some people, not for me. I'm okay with that flavor. Go away. It was like a Thin Mint, except for not exactly. It had raspberry flavor instead of the mint flavor. And I guess it's not nearly as popular as the Thin Mint, which of course it's not. Why would it be? Existing boxes are selling with big markups on sites like eBay. So if you are a fan of the raspberry flavor, you'll have to get them on eBay.
Well, it's popular with some folks apparently because they're buying out the last possible boxes. But yeah, they must not be popular enough for the Girl Scouts to keep on making them. So
Right.
And I think they are fairly new too. I don't think they've been around for too long.
Yeah, it is. It's unbelievable the amount of Thin Mints I can eat and not even like bat an eye. And then I'm like, oh crap, the whole sleeve is gone.
What happened? Who else is eating these?
Right.
Hey, we a couple more things before we go. One, we want to tell you about the contest that we have going on because we always have a contest. Sarah will do that in a second. But we just want to thank and welcome a brand new sponsor. Roto-Rooter is now part of Around the Ozarks in 5. So thank you to Roto-Rooter. Roto-Rooter joins a great list of sponsors that we have scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Adventure Cave Tours, Butterfly Palace, Talking Rots Cavern, and Springfield Green County Park Board. It's a great lineup. So if you're out and about, make sure you visit these sponsors and call on them when you need something because they're great. They're good partners for us. So we are appreciative.
Yes, and our contest, as always, we are doing the Guess the Score giveaway. So if you're a Chiefs fan or even if you're not, we have a contest for you at aroundtheozarks.com, and then click on contest and you can guess the score of the ball game, and whoever gets closest to the score without going over is entered to win 2 tickets to a home Chiefs game or a Chiefs jersey that is signed. So it's one or
Pretty
the
good
other,
prizes.
depending on if the game is here or away. I know, really good prizes. So it's been fun to send a lot of our viewing audience to the ball game at Arrowhead. That's so
That's
fun
right.
for them to get to go. 2 tickets. So check it out at aroundtheozarks.com. We also have like a big calendar there and Wake Up Weather with Abby. We are adding a sports around the Ozarks sports.
With
So
Scott
that's
Purrier.
exciting.
Scott
Yes.
Purrier is going
Yeah.
to be part of that. It's
Right.
his deal. So we're excited to welcome him on board.
Yeah, it's just neat. It's a cool website because there's a lot for you. So, and it's all very, centralized, localized to the Ozarks. So if you want
Yep.
to know what's going on, go there
Around
in
the
way of
Ozarks.
sports, news, weather, you name it.
Aroundtheozarks.com. We also have an app. So if you'd prefer the app, grab the app and it'll all be right there at your fingertips.
So, all right. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great Monday and stay warm. And we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.
See ya. Bye.